Hello, Bianca. My name is Mr. Steinbeck. I live in the USA in Memphis, Tennessee. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the class. Tell us where you live, what city and country, where you're from, if it's someplace different, and tell us what you do for a living. What's your profession? Go ahead, Bianca. You have the microphone.
Okay, hello teacher. My name is Bianca. I come from Italy and I'm an accountant.
Okay, where in Italy do you live?
In the northwest of Italy, close to France.
Okay, thank you. Masaru, go ahead and introduce yourself to the class. Tell us what city and country you live in, what city and country you're from, if it's different, and what you do for a living. What's your occupation? Go ahead, Masaru. You have the microphone.
Okay, hello teacher. My name is Masaharu Tanaka. I'm from Japan and I live in Kyoto City. I work at the semiconductor company. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Sahar, go ahead and introduce yourself to the class, please. Tell us where you live, where you're from, and what your occupation is. What's your profession? Go ahead, Sahar. Okay, very good. Paolo, go ahead and introduce yourself to the class. Tell us where you live, where you're from, and what you do for a living. What's your occupation, your profession? Go ahead, Paolo.
Hi teacher, hi everyone. My name is Paulo Roberto. I am from Brazil. I live in Belo Horizonte. Belo Horizonte is a big city and beautiful place to live and to work. I am a mechanical engineer. I work for a national company to produce mechanical equipment for mines, steel plant, gas and oil, power and solar. I'm sorry,
Okay.
solar and wind power.
Okay, very good. Welcome to class. Today we are talking about working abroad, working in another country. Go ahead, Masaru. Masaharu. Read the lesson objectives out loud to the class, please.
Okay, lesson. Oh, sorry. Lesson objective. Talk about working in another country. Discuss changes to your lifestyle. Discuss cultural differences in the workplace. Thank you.
Okay. Bianca, go ahead and read the lesson vocabulary out loud, please.
Lesson vocabulary. Verbs. To adapt to consider, to arrange. Nouns. Customs, differences. Expressions. To used to, I am used to, I am getting used to.
Okay, once again, vocabulary, verbs, to adapt to consider, to arrange, nouns, customs, differences. I used to, I used to, I am used to, I am getting used to. So, preparing to travel, if you plan to work abroad, if you plan to work in another country, what things do you need to arrange or do before you leave? Raise your hand. Go ahead, Bianca.
Um, I'm really very involved in that topic because I really moved next March to another country. I will leave my country, Italy, to go to the Paulo Roberto's country, Brazil. And so there are a lot of things to arrange before leaving. Well, first of all, you have to arrange an accommodation. So you have to find an apartment or a house if you are lucky, and then of course a job.
Okay, very good. Paolo, what are some other things you might want to arrange or get done before you leave?
Okay, teacher. In my case, nowadays, of course, there are many things to arrange before you leave your country. In my case, nowadays, I will plan to study and work abroad. In this case, it's necessary to have a good accommodation and a good company to work and to study English to improve your English. In my case, it's the most important, the accommodation and the job, in my opinion.
Okay, very good. What are some other things that you might want to work out or arrange before you travel to work in another country? Go ahead. Uh, Sahar, go ahead. Okay, very good. Masaharu, what things do you need to take care of or arrange before you leave to go work in another country? Go ahead.
I think I need to have disposal of I think many things, and of course I need to say goodbye to friends, co-workers, and so on. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. You need to have maybe one last hurrah with your friend, one last party, and bid adieu for a while to your family. Um, if you're not taking car with you, which is really expensive, you might want to sell it or put it in storage. You live in your house, you might want to either get somebody to watch it, or if you live in an apartment, let your lease run out, and then take your stuff and put it in storage. Stuff you're not taking with you. If you have a pet, you know you're gonna go live overseas in another country. You might be able to take your pet with you. I mean, so that you might want to check into that. A lot of apartments do allow pets. Other things that you guys didn't mention, make sure your passport's in order. Make sure you have one. Uh, in America, not everybody has a passport because you only need it for international travel. If you're not leaving your country, you don't need a passport. So get your passport. Make sure it's in order. Make sure you have all the necessary documents to work in that other country. So usually you need to get a job in the country you're going to, and they will sponsor you for a work visa because most countries you can visit with just a passport, but to work there you need a work visa as a kind of document. And things like that, things like those. Okay, so discussion. Working in another country is not easy. So why do people do it? And for what reasons would you consider working in another country? Raise your hand. Who wants to go first on this one? On these two questions. Hello, why do people work in another country? And for what reasons would you consider it? Go ahead, Bianca, as you raised your hand.
Yes. Well, I think that usually the most common reason is to find a good job, to find a better life, and especially when you don't live, you don't have a good life in your country. In my case, it's difficult. It's different because I will join with my husband that is Brazilian. So for personal reason.
Okay. Hello. What are some why do people go and work overseas? And for what reasons would you consider working over in another country? Go ahead, Paolo. Paolo, go ahead.
Okay, teacher. I agree. Working in another country is not easy. Mainly if you wish to work in another country in the same professional, in the same your professional. For example, in my case, I am a mechanical engineer in Brazil. It's not easy to get a good job in another country. It's not easy, in my opinion. Depends on the situation. It's possible to move another country when you get a job in Brazil, the international comp to have a branch in Brazil and to move the head office this company. But it's not easy. I intend in the future to get one job to permit me to move for uh, for abroad to improve my English and to get knowledge, the different knowledge, technology, and the many things I work in Brazil now. Do you understand me? Thanks.
Yes, to gain knowledge and experience. A lot of people go overseas, work in another country to gain knowledge and experience. It can make you more marketable when you come back home. For example, I'm an English teacher. I teach English and I also teach English as a foreign language. If I were to go overseas and teach in Asia and in Europe, teach English as a second language, when I come back to the United States, they're going to be begging me to come teach at their school because I have experience teaching people overseas in another country, and they want experience. Masaharu, why do people go teach in another country, and for what reasons would you consider it? Go ahead, Masaharu.
Okay, I think in case of Japan, there are main two reasons. One is to learn another country's culture. The other one is company's direction, transfer. Some of my friends transferred to the another country and were working there. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, so some people go, they want to experience another culture or other cultures. For example, if you live in Asia or if you live in the Americas, you can go to work in Europe. Europe, there are a lot of nations in Europe, unlike North America, where there's three: North America, Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. In North America, in Europe, there's many countries, and taking a train across Europe is kind of like taking a train across the United States. You have the whole country at your fingertips, and it's not that expensive, at least from an American perspective. Uh, if you want to go from New York to LA, you're talking a lot of money to get on a plane. However, if you have the time, you can take a train. Uh, it's a lot less expensive. Sahar, um, working in another country isn't easy. Why do people do it, and for what reasons would you consider it? Okay, very good. You know what? Other people just like to travel. Some people just want to travel, meet new people, and experience new places. For example, if I want to go and teach overseas in Asia, in some countries they want an English speaker so bad they will pay my airfare and my rent and my medical. Um, so it's very attractive to go and teach overseas. Plus, all the headaches that I have in the U.S. Would be seen further away. I know when I taught overseas for a summer in the Czech Republic, I didn't want to come back. I didn't want to come back to all the headaches I had in my daily life, all the stress and pressure that I have in my daily life. All the people who knew me and knew what I would do or wouldn't do. In the Czech Republic, people met me for the first time. I could decide how they felt about me by the way I acted. I didn't have to try and erase maybe years of personal knowledge. Because here in Memphis, a lot of people here, who are my friends, have known me since childhood. When you go to a new place, people see you for who you are now. They're not remembering who you were when you were a kid. You need to lose that baggage. So, let's see, we have 4 places. Choose from one of the jobs in the pictures. Which one would you like to do? Choose one of the jobs from the pictures. Which one would you like to do, and which job would you not want to do? For example, I wouldn't like to do number 2 or 3. They look kind of dangerous. I don't want to get trampled by a bull. Uh, that's just my personal preference. So choose a job from the pictures. Which would you like to do, and which job would you not want to do? Go ahead, Bianca.
About the jobs in the picture, I wouldn't absolutely do the number 2. I wouldn't be a torero because I'm not I'm against this type of shows, and I don't like to hurt animals. Maybe I would like mm, to do number 4. I don't know. It's a chemical, I think, but I really would like to do another job that is to work in the touristic field. I would like to be a touristic guide.
Okay. Um, it's up to you what each of these are, uh, but this is a farmer. Naturally, that's bullfighting. This is a rodeo. Instead of stabbing the bull and trying to kill it, they ride the bull, and of course, see who can stay on the longest. So when you get thrown off the bull, you have to run and get away from the bull. Of course, they have something called a rodeo clown, and yes, he's dressed up as a clown. And when you fall off the bull, the rodeo clown's job is to distract the bull from the guy who was just riding the bull, so that he doesn't get trampled. People have said this is a chemist. People have said this is a bartender. It's up to you. Um, Choose one of the jobs from the pictures. Which one would you like to do, and which job would you not want to do? Let's see. Who wants to go next? Raise your hand. Masaharu, go ahead.
Okay, I'm interested in making vegetables, so I would like to, sorry, I choose picture number 1. Picture number 2 or picture number 3, I think seems to be really dangerous. I had a dangerous job, so I choose picture number 1. Thank you.
Okay, so you would do 1 and not want to do 2 or 3. Very good. Paolo, which job would you want to do, and which job would you not want to do, and why? Go ahead, Paolo.
Okay, teacher. Uh, this option number 1, 2, 3, 4. I probably number 1. I I would like to do because it's the different experience for me. I think it's possible to learn about the agriculture, to get new technique and knowledge about these activities. The picture number 2 and the 3, I wouldn't. I would like to do this because I don't like these activities. I and the picture number 4, maybe I could do this job. It depends on the opportunities and the situation I I pass in another country. Maybe it's possible to do this. Okay, teacher?
Okay. For me, I'd like to do number 4. I don't know how to mix drinks, but I could learn. Uh, I really don't want to do 2 and 3. That's too dangerous. Uh, and I don't want to work on a farm either. Sahar, which job would you do of the ones pictured here, and which job would you not want to do, and why? Go ahead, Sahar. Okay. Like I said, especially number 4, it is what you make it. Someone said that's a bartender. Someone said a chemist. And you said it was a chef. Like I said, it can be what you make it. So what job, not in the pictures, could you do abroad in another country? I would probably teach. It's kind of a no-brainer for me. I mean, I could go over to another country and teach English, or they want to study European and American history. I can teach that, and world history. Uh, let's see. Um, Masaharu, what job not in the pictures could you do abroad?
Now, I work at the semiconductor company, and I'm an application engineer. So, and my job, sorry, uh, I love my job. So, if I work abroad, uh, I would like to have the same job. So, I work. I would like to work at the semiconductor company. Uh, Example, I work for Silicon Valley and so on. Thank you.
We have semiconductor companies. Well, some of the biggest ones and the uh, most well-known ones are in California's Silicon Valley. So that's where a great deal of our computing got started. Of course, there's Microsoft, and Intel and AMD are located in the U.S. And they design their chips here, and they're the 2 biggest competitors in the world. Um, Believe it or not, actually AMD is smaller, but they're more innovative. They take chances uh, more than Intel does. Let's see. Paolo, What job not in the pictures could you do in another country? Go ahead, Paolo.
Okay,
Go ahead.
teacher, I'm sorry. I don't pay attention in this question because my microphone is wrong for second. Is it possible to repeat please? I'm sorry.
What? Okay, so is the question down here at the bottom where the green arrow is? What job not in the pictures could you do in another country?
Okay, thanks. I understand now. I don't know at the moment, but maybe I I wouldn't like to do abroad. For example, to do about the rent car, for example, rent a car or rent a apartment is for, in my opinion, these activities are specific activities for people to original people the in the country. I I think it's not good for me. And another one, tax drive. It's not good for me to work in another country. Okay, do you understand me? Thanks.
Okay. Uh, Sahar, what job that's not in the pictures could you do abroad in another country? Okay, very good. Bianca, what job not in the pictures could you do in another country?
Well, as I said before, I would like to work in the touristic field. I would like to be a guide or have a travel agency, or maybe I would like to teach Italian.
Okay, travel agent, that would be really good. Or a guide. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. I thought about being a docent, a guide at a history museum before. Also thought always wanted to work in a bookstore. Just because I like to read. So cultural differences at work. Tell the classes what differences you think there would be in the working culture if you worked overseas. So if you are from Asia, talk about differences in Europe. If you're from Latin America, Paolo, talk about differences in Asia. And Bianca, you're from Europe. Talk about differences for working in Latin America. So if you are so tell the class what differences you think there would be in the working culture between your country and another country. Raise your hand. Who wants to go first on this one? Masaharu. What differences do you think there would be in the working culture if you were to go work in Europe, in a European country? Go ahead, Masaharu.
I'm sorry, it is different. It is difficult for me to answer the question. I'm sorry, I have no idea. Thank you.
Well, think about the differences between the customs and traditions in the way in Asia than in Europe. Think about those, and we'll come back to you. Bianca, what would be the cultural differences, working culture differences, if you were to go work in Latin America, say Brazil or Mexico? Go ahead, Bianca.
Okay, when you change a country, of course there are cultural differences, and most of all there are working differences. For example, I don't know well the way to work in Latin American, in Brazil, in especially, but I think that the timetable are different. We start quite early, and in Brazil maybe later. And I think that here in Europe we are really involved in our work. Uh, we are all workaholic, and in Latin America they work um, a lot, of course, like us, but they think that the most important thing in life is to live, and not the work. And I think it's the right way to understand the life.
Okay. Uh, Paolo, tell the class what differences you think there would be in the working culture if you were to go work in Asia, say Japan or China. Go ahead, Paolo.
Okay, teacher, but before I answer the question, I would like to comment about the commentary of Bianca. I agree with her because in Brazil, of course, the people work very hard, but in Brazil, in the same Latin America, the people would like to fun. The people would like to happy many times, and in my opinion, is the different the people Europe Europe people, for example, because the
Europeans.
European like Germany and England, the people is very serious. The people is very serious. The people is very strange, in my opinion. It's a very strict about the time, about the job, about many things. In Latin America, in Brazil, for example, the people it's more relaxed, is more
Relaxed.
funny. Yeah, do you understand me? It's
Yes, relaxed and
different.
fun loving.
Uh, for example, in September of 2009, I did a big trip around Europe. I con- I could I could pass this situation, for example, in English, in Amsterdam, and another places. I I could this experience the different culture to compare Brazil or Latin America to compare them Europe, for example. Do you understand me? Thanks.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, Paolo, go ahead.
I think so. Probably is the difference is about the climate, because in Brazil, in Latin America, the climate is tropical. It's tropical. In Europe, the climate's it's not tropical. It's very cold. I think so. Is
Temperate.
contribute about the personality, the culture about the country. I think so. Do you understand? Thanks.
Okay. You call it cold. It's tropical in Brazil, meaning it's basically warm all year round. Even winter, it's warm, more or less. Temperate, we get means just that temperature. We get all range of temperatures. It's warm to hot in the summer, and all the way down to very cold in the winter. That's the difference between, say, Europe and Brazil, or America, the United States and Brazil. Okay, Sahar, if you were to go and work in, uh, say, Europe or Asia, what do you think the cultural differences would be from where you live? It's always good to start with the culture in your country, and then speculate. That's why I say it's good to start with the culture in your country. That's why I said it's good to start with the culture in your country. That you know. Okay, and that's enough. That's good. Well, we are out of time, so I'm going to release the PowerPoint and say thank you for coming to class, all of you. Thank you for participating in class. You made it a good class. Um, everybody, we have extra other classes if you need extra help. We have private lessons, of course, here at English Town. You can get one-on-one help from a teacher. Also, we have computer lessons. You can take the topic we talked about today, working abroad, and the vocabulary, and find out more about that in our computer lessons. Also, in the computer lessons, you can find out about other topics that are up and coming soon in English Town in the days ahead, and also learn new grammar and other ideas, and again, come practice that in your group lessons instead of seeing it in your group lessons for the first time. So everybody, thank you for coming to class. Have a good day and have a good week. Have a happy new year and have a happy, safe, and healthy new year. Stay safe, and I'll see you next class. Bye-bye. Adios. Sayonara. Ciao. Salam. Bye-bye. See you next class. Arrivederci. Bye-bye. I'm also seeing it spelled like that. Good luck to you too. Good luck in your English studies. I don't know what that means, Sahar. Oh, okay, now I see the smile. Okay. That I know, Paulo. That I didn't. It's a little smiley face. Bye bye.